Let's just say that perhaps a mother has her first child, or maybe it's not her first, but it's been a while since she had an emerging toddler. She goes out to a birthday party or to the park where there are other children, and she hears the other children spouting off words, calling mama, or saying bye-bye as they leave, and suddenly it dawns on her. Do I hear my child saying words? Should my child be saying words at this age? And if so, how many? In this video, I am going to shed some light on how many words a toddler should be saying at each developmental stage. Have you ever heard the advice that every child is different? Every child develops at their own pace, or children will talk when they're ready to? As a speech therapist, I see these types of comments very often, and they're not inherently bad or wrong, but in my experience, they don't offer the best mindset for understanding a child's needs. It's true that every child is different and children develop differently, but there are still guides to a child's development that indicate if they might need some support. The main point that I want you to take away from this is to understand the signs that your child might need some support to get to the next step in their development. And that is what's important. It's not about comparing your child to other children. I'm Gabrielle, and as a pediatric speech language pathologist, I want to help you help your child connect with you and the world around them so that they can grow into the person that they are truly meant to be. The information given in this video is simply an answer to a question that I, as a speech therapist, get asked all the time about how many words a child should be saying. And it's meant to help you recognize if your child seems on track or maybe just might need some extra support, and if so, then that is okay. You will be able to see how what's normal really does vary in these developmental norms when it comes to speech milestones. When I say developmental norms, I'm talking about what is average for children to be able to do at certain stages. So on average, at 12 months, children say between 1 and 5 words. In some places, you may see between 1 and 10 words. Some of these are often words like mama, bye, hi, or the word for a favorite toy, object, or person. And then at 18 months, we can expect between 10 and 50 words. At 24 months, we will usually hear children produce between 50 and 300 words. And then at 36 months, we typically hear between 250 to 1,000 words. So when you're looking at these numbers, I would primarily pay attention to the lower number because that is what we're really looking for. We just want children to be able to say about at least that many words. So what I mean by that is at 24 months, we would want to look for children to say at least 50 words, but on average, children at that stage are saying between 50 and 300. These are just the words that they say, and there are so many more milestones underneath the surface, like receptive language or understanding words and making gestures, play in their development, and much more that allows them to be able to say words. I have a complete roadmap that takes you through how a child goes from being a 6-month-old, just looking at you, all the way to being a 5-year-old entering kindergarten and telling you little sentences when you ask them about their day. I made this roadmap so that parents can see the big picture all at once and why it matters when a child might be behind at a certain stage, because there's a small window of this critical developmental time between birth and 5. So to really set them up for success when they're entering school age, it's good to keep in mind where they should be at each stage. You can get this roadmap of communication between birth to 5 years old in the description below for free. So when we look at these developmental milestones, do you see how wide the gaps are between how many words children say at each stage? Although the gaps are very wide, there are still limits in place. If a child isn't producing at least the expected number of recognizable words I've just mentioned, It simply indicates there might be something going on, and seeking an evaluation from a licensed speech language pathologist in your community can help you understand the steps to get to more words for your specific little one. And keep in mind that it isn't just about hearing them say words, although that is a big deal when they do. A child's ability to be on track by producing the expected amount of words at certain stages in their development ensures their readiness and success for their next stage, which is interacting with other children, attending structured settings like pre-K, having the speech and language foundational skills laid down to build upon with academic learning like letters, numbers, how things work, and more, rather than trying to still get the basics of saying words at these later stages. It helps to make sure that they can advocate for themselves, expressing their emotions or their needs, having language to process through the emotional roller coaster that being a toddler or a young child can be. We want to help them at the right time when it's most appropriate, as early as possible, rather than waiting it out to set them up for success. That is why it matters. If your child is not yet meeting the milestones and you are beginning to become concerned about this, the best thing you can do is meet with your pediatrician, discuss it with them, get their feedback, and potentially get a referral for an evaluation with a speech language pathologist in your community. If you're in the US, then you may also be able to access an early intervention program provided by your state, so don't forget to look into that as well. If tips like these on helping your child develop through their milestones is something that you want to learn more about, then please hit the bell icon to subscribe so you don't miss any new updates. And don't forget to get your roadmap to birth through 5 years old communication for free in the description below. Before you go, please type down below what types of words you're practicing with your child and what you're doing to engage with your little one so that we can give parents who are watching some inspiration and some ideas and help build this community. And let me know down in the comments what you would like to learn more about so that I can make more resources just like this one for you and your family.